Right, plenty of positives for the Indian team in that win versus Bangladesh. But if there were any hiccups, they can sort that out as they get into the tournament proper with a big game coming up versus Pakistan. And that's going to be a focus on the broadcast for the next 20 odd minutes that we are live. We're going to be joined by our cricket analyst in Sunny Gavaskar. Sunny bhai, let's try and set up this contest. India versus Pakistan, always the marquee clash in any tournament. I know everyone's picked India as the favorite, but do you think it's as clear-cut as that? India clear favourites? Or do you think this Pakistan team, despite a setback in their first game, can spring a surprise?
Look, in cricket, anything can happen. You need just one player to be the game changer, whether it's with the bat or the ball. And Pakistan have always had mercurial players, somebody, who will come in and play a blinder, or somebody who will, bowl an amazing spell, that kind of they've always had that. So it's very difficult to say totally that India are the right favourite, but you look at the all-round strength of the Indian team, the batting depth that the Indian team has, the variety at the top of the batting as well. Somebody like a Rohit Sharma who will go bang, bang from the first ball, Shubman Gill who will work his way around, Rahul down the order, Hardik Pandya down the order. So there's so much of all-round strength in the Indian team, so they clearly start the favourites.
Okay, Sunny bhai, it's often said, I know it's a cliche, but it's often said, India versus Pakistan is a game where it's a game of nerves. Whichever team handles pressure better ends up on the winning side. Would it be fair to say that considering how the tournament has panned out so far, India registering their win versus Bangladesh, whereas Pakistan losing their first encounter, and now it's almost going to be a do or a die game for the Pakistan team versus India, fair to say that Pakistan would be the team under more pressure compared to India?
Definitely, no question whatsoever. They will be under far more pressure having lost their first game to New Zealand. They'll be under far more pressure than India. But that said, the Champions Trophy is the one tournament where they have managed to score over India. Not the World Cups, not the T20 World Cups, but in the Champions Trophy. So maybe that is something that they'll be looking to hang on to as far as getting their confidence back.
Sunny bhai, we started this particular broadcast looking at the areas that India can improve upon. If I was to ask you the same question from that win versus Bangladesh, of course, India have that advantage. They've played a game here in Dubai, whereas Pakistan will be playing their first game of the tournament here. So, to get used to the conditions, they don't have that much time. India, in that sense, would be prepared, having played against Bangladesh. What are the lessons you think India can take from that game and then utilize those particular lessons in the game versus Pakistan?
Well, the learning would be obviously about the pitch. That's also an important factor, probably the most important factor. And from that, they will know that, what they need to do. Look, the Pacers got the wickets from both teams. When you look at the wickets taken, Shami taking 5, Harshit Rana picking a couple of wickets, and then from the Pakistan team as well, the Pacers, from the Bangladesh team as well, there were a couple of wickets taken. And so clearly, therefore, there was, the fact that, while the Pacers got the wickets, you have to look at that. But the spinners were the ones who kept control. The spinners were the ones who really bowled tightly for both the teams. And so therefore, I would imagine that they would look, maybe, with Hardik Pandya coming in as a new ball bowler, they may look to go in with an extra spin bowler in Varun Chakravarti for the game against Pakistan.
Okay, those are very interesting thoughts by Sunny Gavaskar. I'd have to say, Sunny, by a bit of left field selection out of the box where you think go in with that extra spinner. India already playing 3, now you're saying 4 spinners. Do you think, keeping that in mind, Pakistan on the other hand have only got, 1 spinner in their ranks? Do you think that they'd be ruining that fact that here's this Indian team which might be thinking of playing 4 spinners on the track that you have in Dubai, and they've only selected 1 spinner in Abrar?
Well, yes, I would imagine so. Because, look, I think, yes, Pakistan's strength has always been their fast bowling. And maybe because they do not really have the kind of quality spinners that they had, like in Abdul Qadir, Iqbal Qasim, Tausif Ahmad, those kind of spinners are probably not around. And which is the reason why they have gone with a pace-strong attack and just 1 spinner. But these are slow pitches. The pitches in Dubai, because of a lot of cricket being played there. The IL T20 just finished about a week ago, 10 days ago. Before that, there were a lot of matches being played. UAE teams were playing a lot of matches there. So the pitch is tired. We saw it in the Bangladesh game. There was no grass on the pitch, and therefore the spinners were able to get a little more out of it than the quick stick.
Okay, you spoke about Pakistan's bowling, Sunny bhai. Let's take a closer look at their batting, because that came under scrutiny in the game versus New Zealand. And, if you're looking at it from the outside, one thing that really disrupted their batting combination in that game, Fakhar Zaman. Injury to Fakhar Zaman, he comes down the order, completely upsets that batting order. Now, they've come into this tournament, with Saim Ayub, one of their rising stars, injured. That was a jolt to begin with. Now, Fakhar Zaman, the other guy who could really give them the start that they needed, is injured. They've got imam-ul-haq now. Do you think that's disrupted Pakistan's batting and that has really put them in the back foot in this tournament?
Well, openers are so essential. We see that with any team, opening batting, opening bowling. They get the teams off to a good start. Opening bowlers take you wickets in the first 10 overs. Opening batters don't lose wickets and get to maybe 50, 60 in the first 10 overs. That makes a big difference. So with an opener gone and somebody who relishes playing the 50 overs like Fakhar Zaman, that blow as far as Pakistan's concerned. Imam-ul-haq is a very fine player. He's got hundreds in the one day game. Imam-ul-haq is a very fine player. But I would imagine that, Pakistan will feel just a little bit left out.
Okay, Sunny Gavaskar still live with us. Sunny bhai, those are telling stats, that we just presented to our viewers. I think last 6 dismissals, 5 have come against a leg spinner. That stat between 2019, pre-2019, gets out to spinner 1 every 4 innings. From 2019 onwards is getting out to 1 every 2nd inning is a dismissal to a spinner. These are really telling numbers, Sunny bhai. It's not that Virat hasn't been out of form. He has been out of form throughout his long career, but he's found a way to come back. Now it's becoming increasingly open secret that leg spinners or slow bowlers are troubling him. Do you think the teams are now mindful of that? Everyone knows about it, and now the strategy is simple. Virat is there in white ball cricket, bring on a spinner, and there you have it, his wicket.
It is to a great extent due to the fact that the bat face opens up. Same thing happens when he's playing against the quicks in Australia. The bat face opening up, looking to play through the covers, opening the face of the bat. That gets him into trouble. So that is something that he's got to watch out for. Even when he got out, a couple of times before he got out, he reached for Rishad, the ball turned, the bat face opened, and luckily the bat face opened, and so there was no nick. So that is something that he'll have to tighten up on now. But yes, I guess if you're getting out to the same kind of bowling, then there's a bit of concern there.
Okay, Saiba, that was about Virat Kohli, how he should approach the game. But rest of the Indian batters, we saw not a great pitch to bat on in their first game. What is the ideal approach Indian batters must have when they're facing Pakistan here in Dubai?
I think whatever happened actually happened for the best, because if India, having dismissed Bangladesh half the team for 35 and knocked them out for 125, for example, that would not have really tested them at all. That would not have tested them at all. It would have been, just a walkover. But having this, where they had to go deep, certainly has helped India as far as I'm concerned. That their batters, their bowlers, both have had a measure of what the pitch will be doing. The pitch for the game is not the same pitch in Dubai, just a couple of pitches away. So it could be maybe just a little bit harder, just a little bit quicker. But again, the experience of India having played over there, just getting the feeling, the atmosphere around will definitely be a big plus as far as India is concerned.
All right, Sunny bhai, we'll leave it at that. Thanks so much for taking our time speaking to us on India today.